for new ways to tax the colonies. In 1765, Parliament passed the Stamp Act. No one would be able to obtain a license or a loan, transfer land or draft a will, earn a diploma, purchase a newspaper, or even buy a deck of cards unless it was printed or written on English-made paper with a stamp from the Royal Treasury, for which they would have to pay. People who did not buy stamps could be fined or jailed. Colonists were outraged. Unlike earlier taxes on imported goods, the Stamp Act taxed all colonists in every colony because all people used paper. Protests began quickly. A secret group called the Sons of Liberty, led in part by Samuel Adams, used marches and sometimes violence to scare tax collectors. Many courts shut down because people refused to buy the stamps needed for legal papers. In Virginia, Patrick Henry gave a powerful speech to the House of Burgesses, saying the Stamp Act violated colonists' rights because it taxed them without representation and denied them trial by jury. Only a colony's elected leaders had the right and power to lay taxes on its people. The Assembly agreed with some of his ideas. Representatives from 9 colonies met in New York at the Stamp Act Congress in 1765. They sent a message to Parliament saying the Stamp Act violated their rights. Pressure on Parliament grew quickly. British merchants complained that the colonial boycott was hurting their businesses. In 1766, Parliament repealed or canceled the Stamp Act. Many colonists, even those who had protested, were thrilled that the Stamp Act was gone. In New York City, grateful crowds celebrated by erecting a statue of King George III to honor him for ending the unpopular tax. In 1767, Parliament passed the Townshend Acts, placing taxes on glass, lead, paint, paper, and tea. These taxes were especially difficult for colonists because they couldn't make these items themselves. They had to import them from Britain, so avoiding the tax was almost impossible. To enforce the laws, officials used documents called writs of assistance, which allowed tax collectors to search for smuggled goods without evidence. Colonists hated the Townshend Acts because they took power away from colonial governments. In response, colonists organized new boycotts. Women, who called themselves the Daughters of Liberty, supported these efforts by producing homemade goods like Liberty Tea, made from locally sourced ingredients. Samuel Adams wrote a letter saying the laws violated colonist rights. Other colonies agreed and joined the protest. Tensions grew even more when tax collectors in Massachusetts seized a ship called the Liberty, claiming it carried smuggled goods. Angry colonists, including the Sons of Liberty, attacked the homes of customs officials. The governor broke up the Massachusetts legislature and asked for British troops to restore order. British troops arrived in Boston in October 1768.